Well, I'm joined right now by Darshan as we sit in this alleyway somewhere in downtown Los Angeles to talk about CLG in 2018. Darshan, things have changed a little bit. So you have a couple different players on the team. What was the offseason like for you? Did you have much input in the changes, or sort of how did everything go on behind the scenes with you?
Yeah, I definitely had some input in the changes, but some of the things, like weren't up to me, like, Afro leaving and things like that wasn't 100%, like my decision, but I'm still really happy with the roster. I'm still really happy with the way things are looking, and we have veterans who have all won LCS before and been to Worlds, so I feel like we already have like a really strong starting point.
It does feel like so much of the conversation right now is being dominated by like TSM, Team Liquid, Cloud9. Less people talking about CLG this year. Any ideas why that is, and do you think that does that make you guys kind of like an underdog?
I just feel like people like don't really care too much about like most of the players on our teams in terms of like brand wise. Like we don't really have any like super huge brands, so it's like pretty easy to like not care as much about CLG. But I think we'll just have the winning factor, so I don't really care about being popular. Yeah. Winning's all that matters. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, how do you expect CLG to start off? Because everybody's starting to do these predictions around like, is this team going to start strong? Is this a team? Do you feel like you need to build up, or are you guys going to get out of the gate really, really strong?
So I think it's both. I think we're going to start out of the gate pretty strong, and we have a lot of building up to do since we've already got like so much like talent and like veteran status on the team. There's not as much of the basics to work on, but the fundament are like we can start getting like a little crazy, like really get like strong team synergy and really kind of get to the next level, and not only be a team that is good in North America, but be a team that can do well and win Worlds.
What do you think about the NALCS this year? Should fans feel it feels like every year everybody gets their hype up for Worlds, and this is the year for North America, but it does feel like we've imported more talent. The franchising thing has come in, so teams should be dedicating more to infrastructure. What do you think about the strength of North America as a whole going into 2018?
So I think it's really easy, and it's completely understandable that everyone's going to be super cynical and pessimistic about NA doing well at Worlds. It's like, what about the last like 6 or 7 years? Like what's different this year? It's going to be the same thing. Korean overlords, NA doesn't have a chance. But I've always been one of those people who tries my hardest every day and to improve myself and the team. And I feel like I have that positive mindset of we can do it. And I feel like if you don't have that, if you don't believe in yourself and your team, then you're just already like shooting yourself in the foot from the start. So I really don't like when, especially like I see some pro players in interviews just like, yeah, we're probably not going to win, or like, I don't think we can do it, but we're going to try our best. Because I feel like you should be confident in yourself and your team. So I definitely think that there are a few NA teams that can do well at Worlds, but I'm most confident about our own team. And I definitely think that, for example, TSM last year, I think they usually every year they've got like a pretty good chance of doing well, but I feel like mentality wise and like the pressure they put on themselves, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot as well and don't do as well as like even I'd expect them to do, like based on playing them and playing other Korean teams. Like I know like how well they're going to do. So I definitely feel like North America has a chance to do it, and I don't think it's as much about the skill as it is about on the day, are they in the right mindset, like ready to win, ready to compete.
People are hyping up the TSM Team Liquid rivalry so much when historically I feel like we've seen so much conversation around CLG and TSM. So I'm curious for you, do you feel like CLG has an obvious rival this year, or is there any team in particular that you are looking to face?
I definitely want to beat. Well, so on Team Liquid, there's a lot of my old teammates, like Double, Smithy, Pope. Like, I want to beat all of them. I want to do well against them. And then I think TSM, we've just lost to them too much, like, the past, like, year. So I just definitely want to beat them again, not only for my sake, but, like, Biofrost, like, he got kicked off, and, like, Hanser was like, there's a reason we kicked him off our team. And then basically, like, for me, it's going to be like, well, what reason was that? Because we beat you, So got to get some revenge for my boy. And also, TSM is, like, usually I think the team that we've done the worst against, so I feel like to really prove ourselves we have to do well against them. Yeah.
Was it like having Rainover and Biofrost, Vincent on the team, both of them kind of quieter guys? Has the atmosphere for the team changed much? What's it been like working with these guys?
Honestly, on this team, I feel like the 5 players we have right now, I feel like is the most motivated team I've been on. So I'm actually pretty excited. Like I definitely think you know, like Vincent's like a little quieter of a guy, but once you get to know him, like once he kind of like gets like lets loose a little bit, he's kind of the biggest meme around the team. Definitely, if you've seen his tweets, like the way he acts, like I was like picking between champions, and then I was saying like, you know, pick me a carry champion, and then he's like, do you mean Maokai? And like in like a serious tone, I'm like, no, like carry champion, and then he's like, Maokai, like in an actual scrim. So he's definitely like a funny guy. Like he's definitely like, I think like a cooler guy once he like lets loose a little bit. So I think everyone's pretty awesome to be around. Not as quiet as you'd expect, and yeah, I'm just great team environment.
How much will the best of one change affect CLG, and what are your personal thoughts on going back to best of ones?
So I think every team or everybody knows, like analysts, like people in the league know that CLG is really good with level ones. And it's so funny to me because everyone's just like, CLG, this cheesing team, they just beat us with this level one strategy. And I'm like, my mindset about it is like, level one is a part of the game that you can practice and get good at to win games at the start of the game. So if you actually wanted to be the best and you wanted to improve, then you would use level ones to your advantage, right? But I feel like CLG or like myself is like, we're one of the only teams that thinks that way. So we'll like always look for creative ways to win and play the game. And so that often helps us in best of ones. And I think other teams just kind of hate that because they're like, oh, strategy, like innovation. So I definitely think it's a helpful thing for us. And I think other teams either have to like start, you know, thinking about other aspects of the game, like, hey, we can do cooler level ones, or they're just going to lose games to us.
All right. So everybody's talking about TSM, Team Liquid, CLG Cloud9. I think people feel really secure in that four. If you had to pick an underdog from the rest of the teams, you know, like a Golden Guardians, a Clutch, one of the teams that people aren't expecting as much, what, you know, maybe you could give me an idea of who you think people should keep an eye on.
Let's see. So what are the other teams? There's FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, Echo Fox, Clutch, Optic,
and who else? 100 Thieves.
Ooh, okay. I would say FlyQuest or Echo Fox are like my dark horses of the split. I feel like they have like some good players on there. They have some upset potential, but they also have the potential to fall really flat.
You mentioned Echo Fox, so I have to ask, like, do you think Dardoch will stabilize and stay on that team throughout the year?
So I really hope the best for Dardoch, but I feel like there's a reason that he moves from team to team. Yeah. And if he's able to like deal with his own like personal issues and be really consistent, I always feel like he's had the skill, but that's never been his issue. So that's what I feel like will be like the hard thing, like the intangibles that you're not going to see unless you're behind the scenes. So I'm hoping the best for Echo Fox. We'll see what happens.
All right. Prediction for CLG's final place before playoffs. Like, how will you place in the top 10 before you get to playoffs?
First place, baby.
Okay. Boom. Anything that you want to say to any of the CLG fans?
I want to say I'm really excited to compete this year and not only prove that we're the best team, but I'm the best top laner in NA this split. So stay tuned for me to kick some ass. Jersey. Oh, and we got a New Jersey. Thank you, Travis. You're always great with the plugs. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without Travis Gafford. You know, everyone check out Travis's content. You know, his Patreon, all the good stuff he's got going on. He's a great guy.
Thank you so much for the interview, Darshan. Looking forward to seeing how CLG does in the coming split. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage right here on my YouTube channel. Whereas I need somebody who can shoot and edit and do all that kind of crazy shit, and that's why, like, Broden is very helpful to me. One of these days, I might pay him. I'm considering it. It's a consideration. Probably not much, but all right. Are we rolling? Okay, good. Yeah. Oops. Don't put that in the vlog. All right, here we go.